If you were lucky enough to survive, these are the sort of injuries you can expect from being shot at close range with a shotgun. So what's it feel like?
It's just like being hit with a sledgehammer. No searing pain, just a really dull ache.
We all buy insurance, whether that's for our house or for our car, and just hope that we'll be looked after. Alfie Oldring thought the same with his insurance, but was shocked to discover he would have been better off losing his little toe than being shot and losing part of his intestine. Thankfully, shooting accidents are rare. However, when there is an accident, the people involved would like to think they are covered. Experienced shot Alfie was in a pigeon hide when he was shot by a friend. He lost part of his intestine, had 50 pellets removed from his stomach and a stay in intensive care and nearly died. But when reaching for his insurance policy, things weren't as clear as he and his family had hoped. When looking at the small print, the policy's cover isn't for all accidents. It appears more catered for permanent disability such as a loss of an eye or limb. Temporary disability qualifies for minimal payout or nothing at all.
It really just wasn't my day to die. That's all you can say. The shot was inch perfect not to killing me. Had I died, he would have been arrested for attempted murder until such time as the forensic boys would have been able to prove that it was an accident. We were both insured with one of the association companies. I'd got 2 insurances, so I thought, okay, well covered. Starting to look at the small print, I found that the accident cover doesn't really embellish all the accidents. Most of it is for permanent disability. Temporary disability is a very, very minimal payout and in most cases doesn't apply. The public liability policy apparently is for negligence, and the solicitors and the legal boys don't actually accept it. It has to be proved as a negligent act from a member to have a claim. If you just have a pure accident, effectively the claim is null and void. We both went there with a current piece of paper covering us for £10 million worth of public liability each. And sadly, when we've come to make a claim on that, we've found that it is exactly the opposite.
With the legal case still underway, Alfie does not want to say which of the Shooting Association membership packages were meant to be insuring him. We looked at policies from 5 shooting associations. All of them pay out only if you're injured permanently. We asked Basque what their insurance is for.
The key aspects of insurance that we need to think about is liability. What that means is if you damage somebody's property, for example, while you're out shooting, you create a liability. You are then liable to pay that third party compensation for the damage that you have caused. And that is exactly what the Basque insurance is there to protect you against. So if somebody does claim that you've damaged their property, we pay the bill. Members should expect from their organisation that that organisation will be there to support them if they do have an accident. Members should not expect to have to pay silly levels of excesses. Members should not expect to have to go running off finding other policies that will pay for the damages they've caused. They should expect their organisation to be there for them, to help them, to take the problem away from them. That's what Basque will do. It's important to remember that if you do cause somebody some damage, you are personally liable. That is important to remember. You are personally liable. So if you don't have any insurance cover, you will still have to pay the bill. If it's a broken window, that could be a couple of £100. But what if it's more? Where are you going to get the money from?
Basque is not one of the associations that's avoiding paying Alfie. Basque's assurances that it represents members' interests is well and good, but it doesn't help with the insurance company's small print. I went to visit an independent insurance broker.
It's personal accident cover, but it's extended to include a weekly benefit. That weekly benefit should be designed for your individual needs, depending on your occupation, your age, what other hobbies you might take part in. Clay pigeon shooting itself, talking to underwriters, would normally be covered as a standard hobby, but other activities that shooters might get involved in would need to be disclosed. Underwriters would then take a view as to what they might do. They may ask for a larger excess period.
The associations want their members to avoid big excesses, but Mark Bennett believes they may be skimping on what they pay for insurance for their members.
The personal accident cover included within the policies that the association provide is probably costing £1 to £2. That's it. If you're looking to take a standalone personal accident policy, premiums would start around £200 to £250. So there's a significant difference. Basically, if something is cheap, something's normally missing. With the association's policies, there's nothing wrong with them, but it is basic cover only. So if you are off work as a result of a shooting incident, you're not going to receive any benefit. What the broker will do is actually tailor the policy to suit the individual circumstances, so they get exactly what they need, and they actually don't have any surprises if a claim occurs.
The implications of this are far-reaching. The best advice? Check your policy carefully. Shooting is incredibly safe, which is why policies are on the cheap side, but you get what you pay for.
The solicitors are discussing what's going to happen, which is possibly a year away. If I was a 25-year-old gamekeeper with a wife and 2 young children, I wouldn't have had any money. I wouldn't be entitled to any money for a year. I would be living on the government statutory sick pay. My wife would have to give up her job to take me backwards and forwards to the hospital, and that's got to be unacceptable to the industry. The industry cannot continue without having that sort of cover in place, because that's what we bought the policy for. We have bought it for an accident. We do not need to have to prove that our friend was negligent.
We have put together a comparison table of different shooting association insurance packages which show you what you get. Click on the link to see it.